This is Appalling News, your most trusted source for fake real news. I'm Paul Chatto. Top story, adieu, Monsieur Trudeau. The Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau, has resigned, and the winner of the Liberal Party fake leadership race, Mark Carney-Barker, has become Canada's PM. In a tearless goodbye, Justin said something, but no one cared. The beleaguered Prime Minister's departure followed growing calls for his resignation from members of his own party, with the Liberals lagging behind the opposition Conservative Party in opinion polls. Does this sound familiar to you Democrats in the United States? And Trudeau wasn't even a walking corpse when he was booted out, replaced by the former governor of the Bank of Canada, Mark Carney-Barker. Mark immediately distanced himself from Trudeau, saying that he's a moron, and unlike Trudeau, he had removed all pictures of himself in blackface from social media that were taken in Davos, Switzerland during the World Economic Forum's Bring an African to Dinner event. Recent polling by agencies loyal to the Liberal Party have put Carney-Barker and Conservative leader Pierre Prevaricator neck and neck. Key members of the Democratic Party in the U.S. are pointing to what the Liberals have done and are really pissed. The Liberals managed to get rid of an unpopular prime minister, put together a fake leadership race in no time, and paid off a diverse collection of cannon fodder. Frank Baylis, the mandatory black candidate, Karina Gould, not a lesbian but kind of looks trans, Chrystia Freeland, representing extremely short people, Jamie Batiste, the first Indigenous candidate without a hope of winning, Ruby Dalla, hot Indian babe, and Mark Carney-Barker, who finished a stint as the governor of the Bank of England between 2013 and 2020, a period during which the UK experienced a notable decline in growth, living standards, and productivity. But that's still an improvement over Justin. The Democrats, who really wanted to oust Weekend at Biden much earlier and have their own rigged leadership race, are mad that they couldn't make the selection of Kamala look more democratic, which hurt them against Trump. Perhaps not picking an idiot for a candidate hurt the Democrats more. Canadians now wait to see how many Conservative Party platforms Carney-Barker, without a seat in Parliament, without a mandate, steals. In the meantime, the unelected PM has picked the same cabinet members who have driven Canada into economic ruin. We figure Carney-Barker feels everyone should get a second chance at destroying Canada if President Trump doesn't do it first. Here's a quick news item. During a high school relay race, Alayla Everett allegedly struck fellow competitor Kayleen Tucker on the head with a baton, resulting in a concussion and possible skull fracture for Tucker. Here, you can judge for yourself. Yep, looks like an accidental smack to us, but the punchline is that the NAACP has come to Everett's defense, suggesting racial bias in the charges. A black girl hit another black girl, which the NAACP is calling racist. Must have been a slow week for the NAACP. Columbia professor Jennifer Manley, who participated in the pro-Hamas demonstrations, has received $100 million in public funds for her research, arguing that Alzheimer's is caused by racism, not genetics. Let's start with Manley's opening slide. Advocating for later life brain health equity. We've all heard of diversity, equity, and inclusion. We know that equity is the new Marxism. But what does it have to do with brain health? Does she want people not suffering from dementia to give up their good brain health and give it to people with diminished brain health? Is she building a Dr. Frankenstein brain transfer machine? Frankly, that would be really cool. Let's continue. Embracing changes to cognitive intercept as a path to increasing cognitive life expectancy. We have no idea what this means, but it is important to include to stop the riffraff from asking questions. No one wants to look stupid on a Zoom call. Recognizing the influence of politics on later life brain health as opposed to individual lifestyle choices. There is no policy that causes Alzheimer's. It's a form of dementia, and the best we can do is manage it. Most cases of Alzheimer's disease are sporadic, which means it has no specific family link. Lifestyle choices, like spending too much time in a salon getting a weave, does not seem to be a factor in Alzheimer's, but using Olaplex No. 6 hair straightener might be a contributor. Policies to repair the intergenerational impact of racism and discrimination on wealth. Neither wealth nor intergenerational racism has anything to do with Alzheimer's, but clearly has an effect on your critical race theory grift. Invest in schools and teachers to increase educational quality. Has no impact on Alzheimer's either. Provide funds to decrease neighborhood inequalities. Now this is looking very much like a USAID scam. Nice job, Professor Manley. Critical leadership by scientists that have not traditionally been included in dementia research. Here she is advocating for scientists who know nothing about the field, or her best chums, so they won't say anything about her being full of shit. Let's watch the prof in action.
Repairing intergenerational impact of racism and discrimination, that any biological differences are driven by racism and structural and social disparities.
Any biological differences are driven by racism? Waves arm for emphasis. This is the first time we've heard that racism and structural and social disparities causes biological differences.
That are not just in the lifetime of the person, but also prior to us being on this earth.
Are not just in the lifetime of the person, but prior to us being on this earth. You did not say a Ouija board was going to be required for this course.
Racism is essentially the pathway through which race is biologized. I can't say that word today, but yeah, that's how it's done.
Racism is the pathway through which race is biologized. Did you know to biologize means to engage in biological investigations, especially superficially or amateurishly? Finally, Manley said something that made sense. Appalling News contacted a real neurologist. Seriously, we're not joking. After watching her presentation, he said, and we quote, "I can see how maybe having Alzheimer's might make you racist, but not the other way around." Ouch, that's gotta hurt. This is Appalling News, and that's the way it is.